paid premium to get her primaries longer than anyone else's. She thought it made her sexy. I raised the bat higher and split the wretched wagon in two. Sweet honey, baby, sugar, thwack. Was it possible for the woman to utter anything without coating it with saccharin, glucose, and fructose, and then deep frying it like an Oreo at a fun fair? Celeste had fried my brain all right. So why did I marry her? Thwack. Because she offered me everything I wanted, the sum of which boiled down to one thing. I wanted to be normal. I wanted to be the king of normal. And, for her part, Celeste's marrying me was the act of a desperate addict trying to set her life straight, topped up with a deep-seated desire to please her father, Daddy. I thrashed at an impervious lime green keyboard, finally picking it up and slamming it against a workbench. I grunted as if I was up against the heavyweight champion of the world, and my thin white protective plastic suit tore like old wallpaper. But it was not all my fault. The suit was torn when I got into it. That's the government for you. Step into this used piece of shit. So what if it's slick with the sweat of some other angry dude who came before you? The rules say you have to wear it. Docket 809.V, Health and Safety Code 0009.12, by order of the Sacred Board, Gloria in Excelsis Deo. The rules should say you each get a fresh new suit, but that would cost too much money. We looked like giant Easter bunnies hopping insanely behind one-way mirrors, covered from head to toe in white disposable Tyvek coverall suits with elastic wrists, booties, and hoodie. All we needed were big floppy ears and little bobbing white pom-pom tails. Hop, hop, hop in a plastic room and break plastic shit to make yourself feel better for a tiny piece of your stupid, meaningless life. I was a clean freak, and I liked my life to be scrubbed and tidy. It was an anomaly for me to find my safe place in a rage room, but I was also an anger addict, giving in to chaos at the drop of a hammer. And the hammer dropped a lot in my life, which I had come to accept. But what I couldn't accept was that the white suits disgusted me. They were damp when you pulled them on, and it was like trying to wriggle into someone else's just-discarded swimsuit. I also hated the smeared and greasy goggles with scratches as though some kid used them for skateboarding, which is still a thing. I'd offered more than once to buy my own suit, but it's against regulations. It was also against the rules to self-harm in a rage room, but more than one person has tried to commit suicide. I imagined them rushing in, falling to their knees, and hacking their veins open, wanting to die in a thick red sea of gushing blood while their fave hate song drums out the dying pulse of their lives. Trust me, I thought about trying too. It would have been a fitting place for me to meet my end, but the person behind the window watched just enough to not let that happen. Sometimes I yelled profanities at the blacked-out glass window, but I'm sure whoever's watching is so used to witnessing the pointless destruction that they don't even bother to look or listen most of the time. I smashed on, chasing release and finding none. Then the music stopped, just like that, and a cop car siren sounded. Red lights flashed across the room. Green lights signaled go, red for when your time was up. I was out of time, but release was denied. Shit. I pulled my face gear off, hearing only my frustrated breath. My face was dented from the goggles, and I ran my fingers along the ridges and bumps. A guy opened the door and dragged in a trash can. He ignored me, and I just stood there. I wasn't ready to leave, but my time was up. The siren sounded again, and still, I stood there, goggles in hand, looking at the useless crap I had broken. Another guy came, a big fella. "Buddy," he barked. "You know the rules. You gotta go."